Help! Help!
Hi, Gina. How's it going?
Hi, Aaron. I was just so into that little animation. I don't know if our viewers or you are like, what was up with that? Well,
It's
little
pretty
exciting
cool.
news.
It
I
sounds
think
great.
I
Hey,
still
Gina,
hear
how's it
it.
going? It's still playing
Hi,
somehow. Yes,
I
it's
still
great.
hear it.
We're just so excited to be here. In case you couldn't tell, those little cars, those little animations, those are Pinewood Derby cars. And we're going to talk on the show today about how to make Pinewood Derby cars like that. Maybe you have your own ideas on how to make your Pinewood Derby car. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. My name's Aaron. I'm here with my friend Gina today. We're used to being here at 2 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's kind of weird to be here on a Tuesday, Gina, but that's
It's a
because it's a
bonus.
special occasion. Exactly. It's a bonus. It is a special occasion. It's Pinewood Derby season, guys. It's so cool. It's so fun. It's probably the highlight of the Cub Scout year. We've got tons and tons of Pinewood Derby related content for everybody on a variety of different platforms. There's a scouting magazine app. There's stores on there. There's scoutlife.org, our website. There's stories there. You can go to Scout Shop website. There is great content on there. Just yesterday, Gina did a live video with her father, Jerry, which is very appropriate because building a Pinewood Derby car is a family experience, right? And yesterday, Gina and Jerry talked about carving a car, right? Kind of how to make it go fast, where to put the weights on, kind of. Is that right, Gina?
That's right. We talked about weights, shapes. We kind of course, got into everything, axles, wheels. We barely touched on paint. I know we're going to talk a lot more about that today, but it was a really, really fun time. I'm glad you guys let me be on there with my dad because he knows this stuff. And he's like a lot of scout parents where, he didn't grow up in scouts and he hasn't done this 1,000 times, but he got really into it. So he definitely knows how to make a great car. And so that video is actually whatever page you're watching this video on right now. You can scroll down maybe a post or two and you will see that video. It's all there. There's a lot of great stuff. You can scroll further back too, and you can find that Facebook Live that Kate and Anthony did in December. And then Aaron, I mean, we love bonuses, but bonus, I think just last Friday, you and Anthony were talking a little bit about virtual Pinewood Derby races too, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. As Gina said, whatever page you're watching this video on, don't leave this video right now yet because we've got lots of cool stuff coming up. But when we're done here today, go back, scroll down. There's all kinds of other videos, advice, instruction, including one on, like Gina said, hosting a virtual Pine Derby, which is kind of a unique challenge, I think, for this year, right? In a lot of
Right.
places, maybe you can't have a meeting in person, or certainly you can't have a full pack meeting in person with your entire pack there. So we have got content on how to do that virtually, all kinds of stuff. But today we're going to talk about the kind of the aesthetic look of cars, right? Decals, sound effects, painting, stickers. This is a chance, really, where your Cub Scouts personality can really come through with how the car looks. We've already talked about, like we say, carving the car, using tools that maybe are not safe for a Cub Scout to use, right? That's definitely something that a parent needs to do with their child. When it comes to decals and effects, though, that's an opportunity for your child really to express themselves, just go crazy if they want to. I was a Cub master once and helped work on about 5 different Pinewood Derby events. So I've seen quite a few different, paint jobs from really really simple to really really intricate and detailed. They're all very cool. The possibilities are really pretty much endless, which is what makes this part of decorating a car really cool. We've even got a special feature coming up where our friend Mallory is going to come on and talk about how to do a black light Pinewood Derby. I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds amazing. I can't wait to do it. We've got prizes today, Gina. So I want to remind everybody, comment like the video, ask questions, leave us your thoughts on Pinewood Derby, how you guys, what you like about it, how y'all's race is going this year. You will be entered for a chance to win. We're going to show you those prizes here in just a minute. So like I said, today we're focusing on the Pinewood Derby car. And part of that is painting. And you just got a little brief tease there. That was a good job for our director to show you that little brief tease there, because we're going to show you a video right now how to sand a car and how to make it look really polished, how to make the paint look almost professional, right? A real glossy, smooth finish. And I've got actually some examples of some cars that I worked on where you can kind of see the difference between one that's been polished and one that hasn't been. But I think, Gina, our next step, if you're okay with it, let's roll that video on how to sand and polish a car. Okay, very cool. That video is available on scoutlife.org, by the way, if you want to go back and watch it. One of the first things that jumps out to me about that, Gina, is that it's a simple process. It's not difficult, but it's not something you do in just 30 minutes. I have heard funny stories about folks who paint their car the night before the race, and if you do that the next day, there's a good chance it's still going to be wet. So right off the bat, I think one of the things we learn is you need to start this process. I think it even said let it dry a week, right? So you need to start that process well in advance of your actual race. Good lesson for anyone who's never done that before. Gina, what has your experience been painting cars in the past?
So I'm so glad you asked, because I had a few things to say. One is that when I'm thinking back to when we painted cars, my dad and I, and you may have heard yesterday, we built 3 cars up front to try to test which one would be the fastest, and then we raced that one. Now, it definitely helps because my dad was, kind of retired, so he had the time to help me do that. Not every parent has the time to build 3 cars for one race, but we actually spray painted all 3 cars, and I'm an adult, so I was able to use that. Now, not necessarily our Cub Scouts are not necessarily able to just go spray paint a car. But that said, it was really easy and the paint dried pretty quickly. But even I was pretty impatient with it. Like, I was going out every few hours and checking, and I kind of messed up the paint job on the first car that I tried to do. So I learned a lot there. One more thing that I wanted to say, Aaron, is, and you've been a part of learning this with me, this new craze. We talked about it yesterday, but it's the vinyl, full body decals for the cars. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
So people are, just the same way you carve out the shape of your car, people are able to cut out these shapes and basically apply them to the whole outside of their car. So you could potentially be covering this wedge with very lightweight, I think it's vinyl decals. And, the experts say those can be lighter than the paint that you're putting on there, because paint adds weight. And if you were tuned in yesterday, every tiny little bit of weight counts, and you want to put as much of that weight right in front of the rear axles as possible.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about now just when it comes down to ounces, or probably even tenths of an ounces, right? Gina and her dad talked yesterday about putting that weight near the back. And if you paint it, obviously the weight is more evenly distributed. The advantage of the vinyl is that it allows you to concentrate more of that weight towards the back part of the car, which theoretically physics tells you that it gives you a little bit of an advantage. I want to talk real quick about sanding the car, Gina. That's something that when me and my son did our first ever Pinewood Derby car, believe it or not, I have it right here. I'm going to grab it right now. So this is the first car that me and my son ever made. You might not be able to see it, but we didn't really know that much about sanding. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the sort of the grain of the wood, especially in this yellow paint. You can kind of see it. Now, this car actually did very well. He won, not bragging, he won his Den championship with this car. We didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't really do that much. We just literally bought paint from the hobby shop, and my son came up with this cool design, and I kind of traced it in pencil on here and then had him real carefully fill it in. But you can see it's rough. It literally, if you could touch it, if you could feel it, it is literally rough. It looks rough. It feels rough. It is not a finished car by any stretch. The sanding is something that we actually got into in the future, Gina, and you can see the difference. Like, you'll notice a pattern literally repeating itself here. You can see the kind of pattern that my son liked. We didn't really vary the pattern very much over the years. Here's another example, by the way, kind of the same pattern. You can kind of see what he was into here. Not sure why, but he really just kind of liked the same pattern. But you can see, I don't know how it shows up on camera, but this is a much smoother finish. It is literally smoother because we sanded it. And sanding, you saw in that video, sanding is something that your son or your daughter can definitely do. You know, it takes a little bit of time, and like Gina said, you do have to be patient. But taking a little cube of wood, wrapping the sandpaper around it, and then just kind of going like this and just spending time with it. You don't have to do it super hard, right? You can do it smoothly and patiently, and just, you know, tell your kid, hey, this is like it's not something that's going to get done in just a few minutes. It's something that gets done over a period of time. So take your time, do it. You get tired, take a break, then do it again. If you really want to go that next step, oh, sorry, Gina, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm really impressed with your son. Maybe he needs to get into like car manufacturing, because it looks to me like he's like got a car make and model and he's improving it each year. You know, like it just looks like it's the same model of car, but it's just looking better.
There was only 1 year where we deviated from our design. I'm not sure why. I don't remember why we went with this one. This year we actually had, you can see fake headlights there. We're going to actually talk here a little bit later about real headlights. I don't think they had those back when we were doing this, but back then we had to draw when I was a kid, we had to draw our own fake headlights here. You don't have to do that anymore. One of the things I also talked about in that video is that layer of, what's it called, you know, you put on the sand, that you put on the wood to make sure that the paint doesn't soak into the wood. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a lacquer kind of a thing? Like a
exactly. Yeah, that you put on there. And I think it says make sure it dries overnight. Sometimes it may even take a couple of days, in my experience, to dry. It does take a little bit of time. You do have to be patient. You can come back 24 hours later and you pick it up and you can still feel that it's kind of wet. And that prevents the paint from soaking into the wood, right? So it gives it a real smooth sheen. Like Gina said, it can take a few days if you let it dry as long as you're supposed to let it dry. Some products that I've used even say wait like a whole week or so. So it just depends on kind of where you store it, the humidity, things like that.
Yeah, so that product that you were mentioning is called Liquid Sanding Sealer, Aaron. And can I say one more thing about the word
I was looking for? I couldn't think of the word sealer. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Can I say one more thing on painting?
Yes, of course.
So we talked about like how to just get your basic paint coat on there. You definitely touched on sanding. We didn't mention today, but sometimes before you paint, definitely before you paint, sometimes people sand their car. They'll go through, from like a grittier grit to a finer grit, and then they'll bake their car and it comes out really lightweight and really smooth. And then those people are able to just get this really shiny finish on their cars. And some of you guys watching might be all about the speed, but some of you might be all about the look, because the design competition is extremely fierce too. And we're definitely going to touch on a lot of ways to get the edge up on that today. But when you want that really shiny look, I mean, this is where you want to spend a lot of time in sanding and painting, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And it's great if that is something that your Cub Scout is interested in. It's great as a parent to help them through that process, right? To teach them how, have to be safety, have to be patient. I said safety. We're going to talk about safety here in a minute, but mainly have to be patient. You might have to let the car sit there for a few hours, maybe in a few days, to really get that perfectly sheen look. Um, there's lots of different options for paint. We're going to talk about paint safety in a little bit. I always use just basic hobby paint, like water-based paint. You can use a little more high quality, like acrylic paint if you want to. We're going to talk a little bit later about how you have to be careful with that, getting that on your fingers, depending on the kind of paint you use. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But speaking of ways to make your car look good, we have got, again, a reminder, prizes. Prizes, prizes, prizes. Let's take a closer look at the prizes that we have to give away. As you can see, this first prize. So this is a package. All three of these items come together in one prize. This is giveaway number one. It is a Pinewood Derby pre-cut fire truck decal. Gina mentioned those decals that basically cover up the majority of the car. It also comes with a fire truck light and siren kit. That's right. This kit makes noise. It sounds like a fire truck. You might have heard it in that first video. And it has an actual light on top of it. So you don't have to, my son had to just draw lights or paint lights on the front of his car. But with this, you have actual real lights that you install on your car. So the Pinewood Derby pre-cut fire truck decal, the fire truck light and siren, and the flexible composite strip weight. Gina talked also about weights, about how you want to put your weights on there. This is just an easy to install strip of weights that goes, I believe, on the bottom of the car. Obviously, you guys talked about this yesterday. If you want your car to go as fast as possible, you want it to weigh as close to the limit, whatever your rule limit is. Usually it's around 6 ounces, I think. You want it to get as close to that as you can. So these pre-cut weights will help you with that. You can sort of trim them off a little bit, shave a little bit of weight if you need to. That is giveaway number one, but that's not all, Gina. We have giveaway number two also. If we could take a look at that real quick. This is giveaway number two. This is the Pinewood Derby pre-cut orange flames decal. Look at those cool flames that you put right on there. These are really cool. It really does look like paint, but it's more like a sticker that you just stick on there. But it really does look like professional quality paint. This kit also comes with a sound kit that makes noise. And again, the weights, as you see there on, I think it's the left side, you see the weight strip there. So this is the Orange Flames decal, the race car sound kit. So this sounds like a race car, and the flexible composite strip weight all together in giveaway number two. You might be asking, what do I do to win? We want you to comment. We want you to like this post. We will choose a winner at the end of the show. You got to keep watching to find out if you won or not. But those are really cool designs, and those are really cool ways to make your car look creative without too much work. I mean, it's pretty simple. When I was a Cub Scout leader, again, Gina, one of the dads in my Cub Scout pack owned his own business, and guess what it was? His business was painting cars. I mean, real cars. That's what he did for a living, was paint cars. So obviously his son's car looked incredible. We all supported him because, hey, that's cool. He's got the skills. He knows how to use them. You might not be able to paint a real car as good as this gentleman could, but you can get in there and from items you can buy at scoutshop.com, paint the car, make it look really cool. I feel like, Gina, there's a few different ways cars are designed. There's a few different routes we can go, and it seems to me one of the most popular ones. First of all, though, Gina, I wonder what you have to say. Go ahead.
Thank you. I was just thinking we should definitely read some comments. You just mentioned that to win a prize today, we've got two big prize packages to give away. You just need to like this post or comment on it, and we've actually got a lot of comments.
Cool.
Xavier's tuned in. A lot of folks are giving advice, and I mean, I think that's the beauty of Pinewood Derby. A lot of our theories contradict each other. Everyone has a philosophy on how to build a Pinewood Derby car, and sometimes the theories are totally different. It's a science, but it's also a little bit of a mystery. So I love seeing different philosophies. Someone had a really good question. Chris, he says, do you have a recommended plan on short work times, daily or over a weekend? So like if you just don't have a whole lot of time to devote to this, but you still want to be competitive, it's absolutely possible. I am not just pushing Scout Shop. Genuinely, you can take one stop to Scout Shop and get, a wedge cut car. So you've already got a pretty aerodynamic shape that you can grab. They have these little wheel aligners in various, or axle aligners in various forms. This is like a body jig, I believe is what it's called. So you can straighten those axles, get a few different grits of sandpaper, sand your car, paint it, place weight in it, straighten the axles, polish the axles. And then if you want, you can go to the post office to weigh your car. They'll let you weigh it there just to make sure it's coming in, right at 5 ounces, and you can adjust that on race day. And then my other favorite trick is that if you don't have the ability to cut a car yourself, your parents don't have the ability to cut the car for you, be sure to consider something like a hardware store. Oftentimes they'd be willing to cut, into a basic wedge or some kind of a templated shape if you have it. So I just love that question. That's all I had to say, Aaron.
That's great advice, Gina. And I know you guys talked about the shape of the car yesterday, but you really can't go wrong with a basic wedge. It really is. You might look at that and go, I know, it's too basic. That is really, if you're looking for a fast car, it's really not a bad bet at all. And I did, as a Cub Scout leader, I got a lot of calls from parents like, we don't have any saws and we don't have any tools. How do I cut this thing? What a great resource to be able to go to the Scout Shop and get everything you need right there. There's no shame in that at all. Go for it. The important thing is that you do it with your Cub Scout as a project together. I think the question also talked about like time-wise, how much time does it take? If you are going to cut your own car itself, I would suggest planning on taking part of a, weekend morning to do it. Is probably going to be an hour or two, a couple hours, depending on how handy you are with the tools and how much you want to spend sanding it. And then take a break, and then you can come back to it for little bits here and there, even like on weeknights when they're home from school. By the way, a lot of folks do it over the Christmas break. Christmas break is over now, but something to keep in mind for next year, right? But as they come home from school, you do little bits. Maybe you sand a little bit, just 15, 20, 30 minutes at a time after school. Then you apply the sealer on there one day, let it sit for a day or two. And by the next weekend, then maybe you paint it. We're going to talk about the painting process here in just a second. But again, if you spray paint it all down, that's a pretty quick and easy process. Probably requires some adult help. If you're just using water-based hobby paint with a little bitty brush, your Cub Scout can probably do that themselves. Again, what I did with mine was I traced in pencil on the wood so he could see where to paint it, and then he just kind of just filled in. They've been filling in coloring for their whole lives, right? So filling it in, the traced lines actually worked out really, really good. I wanted to just kind of talk real quick about things that we've seen trends-wise in terms of how kids decorate their car. And I feel like there's a few different ways families tend to go with this. One of them is the basic red car, right? The video that we saw earlier was a red car. For whatever reason, even pre-Lightning McQueen, right? You really can't go wrong with a red race car. It just looks fast for some reason. I should have looked up why red race cars look fast. I don't know why. I don't know what the science behind that is, but I feel like that's been a trend that's been around forever, the red race car. If you ask a kid what color to paint his car, they're probably going to say red. A lot of them are going to say red, I think, right?
I would think so. That's got to be the fastest color, right?
Yeah. For some reason, red seems like yeah, exactly. Another thing that I've seen a trend over the years is sort of the pop culture cars, right? You've seen a lot of like Star Wars cars. We had one time in our pack an X-Wing with R2-D2 sitting in the back of it. So kind of, there's been a lot of Pokemon cars over the years that I've seen, right? So another thing is kind of that trendy, whatever is popular in pop culture. Kids want their cars to look like that. That's really cool. Sometimes an R2-D2 or a Pokemon sticking up makes it a little bit less aerodynamic. I think maybe it might go a little bit slower, but that's totally cool. If that's what you're interested, that's fine. And then I think the third option is sort of the traditional, what we've seen, again, police cars, ambulances, maybe not ice cream truck, although I do appreciate the ice cream truck option from the Scout Shop, but police cars and ambulances, kind of a timeless, popular look for a car. If you still do the wedge, it doesn't affect the speed, But if you carve it to look like a fire truck, literally, it's probably going to go a little bit slower, right? It's not quite as aerodynamic, but those are the trends that I've noticed, I think, in my time as a Cub Master, and then now I'm working for Scouts and seeing a lot of photos from Pinewood Derbies. I think the important thing is the sky is the limit. You can be as creative as you want. Gina, what kind of designs did you and your dad build with your cars? Did you get to choose, or did he make you choose for him?
Oh no, I definitely, so he had, he had the passion for helping me make sure it went fast. And I had,
Mhm.
which I wanted to win because this was going to be a speed race. So I definitely had that in me, but he helped that happen. I had a lot more opinions about the design aspects for sure. I knew it was going to be a little more limited in terms of design because we were really going for speed. But you mentioned that the ice cream truck. So we're going to hear that sound kit in a little bit. I've seen in the last few years the ice cream truck, which is not necessarily an aerodynamic shape, but it's become much more popular, especially I think in the design focused Pinewood Derby car builds, because this kid is really cool and the song is really funny. And I think it makes people laugh when they first see the ice cream truck and then hear it, play its little sound. So that makes me laugh. I think you're spot on about the pop culture, anything pop culture or super relevant, incorporating that into your Pinewood Derby car. I mean, it always gets a laugh. It always, people think, oh, wow, that's so creative. And then I think with like Family Fun Fest a few months ago, what I realized is a lot of kids incorporate portions of their Happy Meal or like fast food toys into their Pinewood Derby cars. Like they'll get a Snoopy, they'll stick it on the car, or they'll get like some flames from the back of their car from their, former toy and stick it on the back. And I think that that's really creative. And it's kind of just like no one else is going to have that element.
Very cool. Yeah, and you actually made a great point, Gina. I've heard a lot of parents say this, that the parents feel like their job is to make sure the car goes fast or pretty quickly, at least as possible, right? Make sure the wheels stay on, because you don't want it happens sometimes. The wheels go shooting off when the thing is halfway down the track, right? So the parents' job, some families might say, is to make sure the car goes quickly, stays in one piece, and gets down the track together. And then the Cub Scout can have more of a say in being creative and things like that. I think that's a good philosophy.
Right, because I think that a lot of kids, and I'm in the same boat. Like I can articulate, I want it to go fast, but I don't know exactly what all work that involves quite yet. And it's a beautiful learning process to then see your mom or dad kind of walk you through those steps. Going back to a question earlier, a gentleman asked, like, how can I do this quickly if I don't have a lot of time? We pretty much answered that, but I just wanted to mention one more thing. You are going to hear people who say you need 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks to build these cars, and you can spend that time, but you definitely don't have to. There's a lot of single parents who don't have as much time, or two working parents, just a lack of time to maybe spend on these things. You can still absolutely build a Pinewood Derby car. We are really into Pinewood Derby, obviously. And most scouters and scouts are, parents are, volunteers are. So it can be kind of intimidating your first Pinewood Derby race to be like, how in the world am I going to do this like professional paint job on a car? But like you said, Aaron, it doesn't have to be that complicated. You can definitely go simple, and you will see that some of these simple cars win.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So speaking from experience, again, the first car that my son and I built together was the opposite of professional in terms of the paint job. He had no complaints. I mean, he had a wonderful time working on it with me, and it helped that he did finish first in his den. But he's not going to go back and say, why doesn't it? He never went back and said, why isn't it glossy? I mean, he really enjoyed the process. So the great thing about Pinewood Derby, it's kind of like the Cub Scout program overall, and the motto is do your best. And that applies to parents working on Pinewood Derby cars as well. Just do your best. You don't, maybe you might feel some pressure from what other parents are doing, right? Just like in everything else in life, but really just do your best. Your Cub Scout, I guarantee you, your Cub Scout is just going to enjoy the process, spending time with you, coming up with different ideas, talking about what it's going to look like. How do we make it go fast? What colors do we make it? Different things like that. That's really what it's all about. And whether that takes you a couple hours on a Saturday, or if it takes you 8 weeks, either way is fine. Your Cub Scout is going to enjoy it. One of the cool things about working for the BSA and for Scout Life magazine, or previously known as Boys Life, is that we get lots of photos of Pinewood Derby cars. Scouts always submit their photos, scouts and probably some parents too, right? Submit the photos of their cars that they're proud of. We're going to take a look at those right now. And Gina and I are going to kind of give you a little description of what we see here. These right here we're going to talk a little bit more about these later. These look like maybe those famous blacklight cars. You can see it looks like paint, but I believe these are decals, and you can see the lights there on the bottom, right? How cool is that they have little lights there kind of along the bottom there?
These pictures are great because I think, like, I'm just going to be honest. I think sometimes the blacklight idea has, like, the people think, oh, people are just going to paint their cars hot pink. It's going to be super girly, which it could be. And more power to you if you go that way. But those cars are intimidating right there.
Absolutely, they are. Look, they look amazing. And I would say you're probably looking at that thinking, oh my gosh, that takes so much work. The kits that you can buy from Scout Shop really do make it easy. So don't be intimidated by how cool they look. You know, you might want to be intimidated by how fast they are, yes, but not by how much work it's going to take.
Yeah, just the right paint and stickers make it.
Right, exactly. Very cool. I think we also have photos. Yeah, I was going to say we have photos also of cars that were submitted to us. And again, we talk about creativity. This looks to me like a flounder. And I say that because it's got two of its eyes on the same side of its head. And I actually, I'm pretty sure that's what a flounder is. Is that right, Gina? Do you know?
I was just going to say, is this one of those fish that lays at the bottom of, like, the very dark part of the ocean and surprises other fish?
I'm going to need our commenters to fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's a flounder. They're born with eyes on one side of their head, but they spend so much time laying on their sides at the bottom of their ocean that as they get older, their other eye moves over, and it ends up with two eyes. I'm almost positive, Gina, that that's what that is. You can see, though, again, creativity. Some Cub Scout had the idea, well, let's make a flounder for a Pinewood Derby car, and look how cool it looks.
Yes, and this is one of those cars I personally don't think you look at this car and could have any doubt that a Cub Scout had some input, because I just don't think a mom or dad came home from their long day at work and was like, I'm going to build a deep sea fish. That Cub Scout had a passion, and it shows.
Yes, I'm sure the parents probably helped them paint it and carve it, but it was the heart of the Cub Scout, I bet. And very much like this one, I would say too, a unicorn. What a cool car this is, with the different colored hair and the mane coming out and the tail in the back. Very cool, very creative. Again, Gina, I think you're right. I think a Cub Scout said, I want to make a unicorn. And a mom or a dad went, okay, how are we going to do that? And they came up with a really cool car. Also notice the car on the end there with the, is that the, which logo is that? Is that the Webelos logo?
It looks like a Webelos car, yeah.
Yes, right. Yes, very cool. With the Webelos logo with the plaid blue and red and the emblem there. Very cool.
And I definitely wanted to call out too on that beautiful unicorn with, like, the glitter finish. Scout Shop also has some unicorn decal kits, a few different unicorn decal kits. If you're inspired by that, but you're like, I don't know that I can quite do that. And if you can do that, more power to you. Definitely go for it. And I love the Webelos car because it's like probably that Scout's last year to be in a Pinewood Derby race. So they really did a mic drop, and they threw the hot pink wheels on there, which you can also snag at Scout Shop. Very cool.
Yes, that's another thing. The different colored wheels that are available at Scout Shop, just add to it. That's great. Here we've got, like I said, one of the kind of staples, I think, a police car. Good old-fashioned police car. Kids have been making Pinewood Derby police cars for ages. You spruce them up with the cool lights, and I don't know if this one has the sound kit on it or not, but very cool, very modern looking, I think, even though it's like a traditional design.
That one's like a if Tesla made a police car, that's kind of what I imagine it would look like, and it's definitely ready for a blacklight race, I feel.
Right, exactly. As a reminder, everybody, we've got prizes to give away. Comment. We've got one kit, the fire truck kit, and another one is the race car kit. We're going to give both of those away. It's almost time. I've got a couple of notes real quick, Gina, that I want to share. We mentioned painting, and I want to share just a few quick hits courtesy of our health and safety division about painting safely. We talk about how painting is something that you can do with your Cub Scout. It is important to read the label on the paint can that you buy. As an adult, when we paint our houses, when we do touch-up paint or whatever, when we just paint, an interior wall, we might not pay attention to that stuff. But we do encourage you, when you're working on a project with your child, with your Cub Scout, pay attention to the instructions, pay attention to the warning labels. Depending on the kind of paint you buy, there might be different solutions on how to say if it gets on your finger, how to get it off, things like that. Some of them will wash off super easy with soap and water. Some of them don't. Spray paint maybe seems like a good idea because it's easier. You just spray it on there, but pay attention to the label. Use it in a well-ventilated place, right? A lot of folks would paint their car. We always painted ours in our garage. Make sure that garage door is open. Even if it seems like it's an empty garage, if it's closed, it's not really considered well-ventilated if there's no air ducts or anything like that, right? So an open garage door is a great place to do it, a back porch or something like that. Do you need to wear gloves while you paint your car? Again, it'll say on the instructions, do you need safety goggles? Probably not, but read it on the instructions just to make sure. This is one time where we do say, read that fine print that you would normally ignore, probably if you were just doing this on your own, right? When your kid's involved, if you want to do it together, read that fine print, and just to make sure, safety first. Understandable. This will be a positive experience for everyone if you just make sure to pay attention to those kind of things. The last note, by the way, on that, don't paint around flames or heat sources. In our garage, we have a water heater, so we just kind of move over to the other side of the garage there, just in case. So, yes, Gina.
I just wanted to interject with a few viewer comments. Now, every time these folks are commenting, they're entering for a chance to win one of our 2 prize packs today. Chris makes a great point that I don't hear brought up very often. He says you've got to watch the height of your car and make sure it isn't too high for your track's finish line. Great point. It brings us back to the point of just make sure you know what track you're racing on and you know your race rules before you build your car. Another great point is Greg is saying the hard part is getting the wheels on and tuned. I totally agree. You kind of notice with this where everybody's focus on building goes. Some people immediately are thinking weight, and they're going to spend a long time placing the weight. Some people are going to spend a long time painting. Some people are going to spend a long time on the wheels and the axles. I'm curious for our viewers, where do you like to put most of your work? Where do you think you really see a huge difference made with where you focus on building? What do you think, Aaron?
I think the wheels are the trickiest part. As a matter of fact, on some of our old cars are actually missing the wheel because it was just tricky for me to get it in there the right way, and it was kind of loose. And it survived race day, but it didn't survive storage in the attic. So I do think the wheels are the tricky part. Look, this one here is missing a back wheel there. Another part that you mentioned, the height of the car, the undercarriage is also important because most tracks, it goes over a little raised area down the track. And if there's not enough room down here, if the wheels are too high and you end up with like a low rider, right, it will drag. So that's another thing to be careful for. You don't want that. You don't want it to be too tall. You don't want it to be too thin. These are things that you learn with experience. If you follow the rules, if you build it, don't tinker with it too much. Maybe if you've never done it before, right, until you kind of get the hang of it. Especially if this is your first time doing it, you won't have a problem with that. But yeah, getting too tall or too low could cause issues. Gina, we're running out of time. We've got a few more things we've got to hit on. We're going to have a special guest on here in just a few more minutes. Our friend Mallory's going to come on to talk about a black light race. We've got prizes to give away. Before we do that, though, I'm going to show a video that demonstrates the sound and light kits that you can buy from Scout Shop. Let's roll that real quick.
Turn up the sound. Pinewood Derby cars just got cooler. Let's install the police car light and sound kit. Measure and find the center of the roof. Place the block in a vise. Use either a 1 1/8 inch paddle or Forstner bit. Drill a hole 5/8 of an inch deep. Insert the sound module. Make sure the top fits flat to the roof. Press the button once for lights, twice for sound, and press one more time to turn off the sound. Now put on some underglow lights. Remove the battery shipping tab and test the lights. Find the center between the axles. The light strips will go between the wheels. Find the center width of the car. Mark where the two lines intersect. Measure 7/8 of an inch from the mark toward the rear of the car. Make a second mark. The module will be installed here. Place the block in a vise. Use either a 1 1/8 inch paddle or Forstner bit. Drill a hole 3/8 of an inch deep. Cut a slight relief in the rear of the hole so wires will lay relaxed. At this stage, you should paint and decorate your car. Insert the module. Curve the wires gently. Remove the adhesive backing on the LED strips. Apply the strips carefully to the bottom of the car. Apply the clear vinyl underside decal to secure the kit. Wrap the decal over the sides to keep things locked together. And there you have it, an awesome police car racer. You can only install one light kit per car, so we're going to put the head and tail lights on a race car. Be sure the design you choose can accommodate the lights. Designs with flatter areas on the front and rear work best. Trace or draw your designs onto the front and rear, marking the light locations. Then, locate the center of the racer on the bottom and mark as well. Draw a guideline from the center mark to each light mark on the bottom. Place the block in a vise and use a 1 1/8 inch paddle or Forstner bit to drill a hole deep enough for the lights to intersect. Use a 3/16 inch drill bit to drill a starter hole from the light locations to the module hole. Do this for all 4 locations. Make sure all holes go completely into the module hole. The package directions say to use a 1/4 inch bit, but you may want to try a smaller size, like a 7/32 inch bit for a more snug fit. Drill the 4 LED light holes to their final sizes, making sure the bit reaches the module hole for proper sizing. Cut, sand, paint, and decorate your racer to the desired design. Remove the battery tab and test your lights. Separate the 4 LED lights and thread them into the desired locations, pulling them out about an inch. Carefully apply a drop of glue into each hole and set the lights back into the holes. When the glue sets, coil up the excess wires and carefully place them in the module hole beneath the button. Tension from the button's rubber case will hold the module in place. And there you have it, a hot new racer with lights. Now go race!
Very cool, and a great job narrating, Gina, by the way, that video. You guys might recognize the voice in that video. But more importantly, we are joined by a very special guest, Mallory. Thanks for being so patient and waiting for us. I've been waiting. I'm so eager to hear about a black light race. Mallory is make sure I get this right, Mallory, the product manager for the Cub Scout division. We welcome her to the show today, Mallory. Thank you for joining us.
I call her the black light queen also.
Oh, thank you for that.
Perfect. Well, we saw some little snippets with some photos there of the black light cars and what they look like. Can you show us, kind of tell us a little bit more about that and show us how it works?
Yeah, sure. So I don't know what's cooler than things that glow or things that glow in the dark. I don't know about you guys, but I think those are pretty cool. So yeah, like they said, I manage all of our product for Cub Scouts. So all the things you see behind me and everything that you've been hearing about today. So I have a really super fun job. And I can't wait to tell you guys about it and show you some of the things that we've been working on and show you how to host a blacklight race, because I think it's a lot easier than what you might think. And I'm here to convince you of that today. So obviously things look a little different these days, and that's impacting how we host these types of events, but it's super easy and it's super cool whether you're hosting a Pinewood Derby event in person or virtual. And it's really 5 easy steps. So your first step's going to be let your pack or your den know that this year you're going to be racing in the dark. Okay, so not the whole race maybe, but kind of, right? So find someone, so step 2 would be to find someone you know that has some black lights. You know, a DJ or a friend that might have some black lights. Maybe they have the ones that you put in can lighting, or they have rope lighting, or they have bars. And if not, that's fine. Log on to Google or log on to the internet and find some bar lights. I actually have one here that I was going to show you. So these are the ones that we use here. It's just a black light bar, and they're very inexpensive. You can find these for less than $30. In fact, usually they're less than $20. I recommend getting at least 2. 3 would be ideal, but you could definitely do a race with 2. What you're going to do is you're going to take your Pinewood Derby track and you're going to put one of these at the top. And double stick tape is your friend. I use double stick tape for everything. So you could certainly use, there's like holes here where you could mount them on your Pinewood Derby track with bolts. But every time we've ever done this, we've always used double stick tape. It stays in place. The most important thing is to put it at the top of your track facing down. So what you want is that your cars, when they're lined up like this, will glow under black lights. So then you could put one in the middle of the track, and then you would definitely want one at the end of the track, so your cars glow the whole time. And if you Google and you research some of this, you can see that you can even get rope lighting, that you could rope down the sides of your Pinewood Derby track, which would be an added effect. But seriously, you could do this with 2 of these light bars. 3 would be better. So then your 4th step would be just to head over to scoutshop.org or Scout Shop and grab some paint. That's black light paint like this that we sell. So that's where you get that effect with, I knew Gina mentioned the pink car, but we have other ones here where you've got white with pink, or you've got orange, or you've got blue. You can be really creative. You can mix and match colors. Any of the extra wheels that we sell, they say black light on them, but they will glow under black light. So we've got purple and pink, and then glow in the dark, and we've got green and blue. Any of those are going to look really cool on a track, going down, speeding down. Pick up some of those, and then decals. We have specific decals that glow under black light, but like you may know if you've ever seen a black light like at an amusement park or somewhere else, anything white or really brightly colored is just going to by nature glow under the black light. So it's going to be a really cool effect. So then your last step is going to be decorate your car and you're ready to race. Just remember to have somebody hit the lights before you send the cars down the track. It'll be really cool for your Cub Scouts. So like I said, even if you're hosting these events virtually this year, like so many of you are, and like we've heard that you are, that's actually awesome. The kids will think it's really super fun to watch their car go down in the dark on this track and light up under these black lights. It'll be something that they really remember for a long time. They'll probably want to do again next year.
I had been thinking about that because I was like, we get a lot of questions saying, well, how do we get scouts engaged if we're doing Pinewood Derby virtually? Well, maybe this is your year to say, hey, it's a blacklight race. It's totally different. And if you want to take part in our inaugural blacklight race, you've got to participate in the virtual Pinewood Derby. So I think that's a really cool idea.
And you could do, maybe you do one part of it blacklight and one part of it not blacklight. Maybe everybody wants to participate. Maybe everybody does it. Maybe just a special section. I mean, smart. Start small the first year, and then you can always grow into it. You can build on it.
I was going to say a lot of packs have like a separate heat for we used to do siblings, but now siblings can participate officially, which is good. An outlaw heat or something like that, where maybe the rules don't apply. You could also have maybe a blacklight heat, right? Where if someone wants to build a blacklight car, they can participate in that race. And like you say, if it takes off, everybody does it. Maybe the next year, even more people will want to do it. A great way to keep kids engaged. I agree with you, Mallory. The only thing better than a Pinewood Derby race is a glow-in-the-dark Pinewood Derby race, I think.
And we have glow-in-the-dark paint and glow-in-the-dark wheels and glow-in-the-dark decals. So you could do that too. I mean, who doesn't like stuff that glows?
That's exactly right.
It'd be cool. Those paint colors are so vibrant. They'd work well even if you weren't doing blacklight. I like that too.
The other thing I want to emphasize too, and I mentioned this, but I have a blacklight bar, and that works really well. But the rope lighting, there's black light rope lighting, there's black light can lighting. You can replace the lights in your ceiling. It depends on where you're hosting this event, but there's no one right answer for doing this. So get creative. Maybe you mix and match. Maybe you have rope lighting and the bars and the can lighting. Go crazy. So just get creative, because that's the point of Pinewood Derby, right? Be creative.
Yeah, exactly. Gina mentioned earlier that there was some debate in the comments, I think, or some discussion about how to make your car go fast. And I think that that's what's great about it, is there's different ways you could do it. And there's different ways to decorate it also. So many options: paint, stickers, decal, glow in the dark, different colored wheels. Mallory, where can someone go to buy this stuff though? That's the one thing I don't know. Where do you go to buy all this?
Yeah, so all the decals, all the paint, all the wheels, all the light kits, all of this stuff is available on scoutshop.org or in your scout shop, in your local scout shop. So you can go to either one and purchase this stuff.
Awesome.
Pretty simple.
Very cool. Yeah, go to scoutshop.org. Everybody, check out the wide variety of light kits and all the stuff like that. It is available. It is up right now. Gina, very exciting, very cool. A lot of options. I do.
You know, and I have one thing.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Of course. Yes.
We'd love to see your pictures. If you host an event like this and you have a virtual event or an in-person event and you host a black light race, please send pictures. We love pictures. We want to see it. We want to hear your creative ideas. I mean, these are some ideas, but maybe you have better ideas, and we'd love to hear that. We're always looking for new ideas, innovative ideas, creative ideas. So we love to hear from you, because that's where we get ideas for our product, and we improve the line, and we improve what we offer you guys.
That is awesome. That is very cool. Gina, we've talked about the last couple of days, really, what an opportunity building a Pinewood Derby car is, to spend time together with your family, whether it's father-daughter, mother-son, any combination, whatever it has. Really great memories. My son's fondest memories from Cub Scouts are the Pinewood Derby, and a lot of them, when they cross over into Scouts BSA, that's the only bad news. They don't get to do the Pinewood Derby anymore. That's what my son said. We don't get to the Pinewood Derby this year. And I said, yeah, I don't think Scouts BSA troops normally do that. Super fun. You're making wonderful memories with your family. Go to scoutshop.org to see all of the cool things you can get. We mentioned that there are prizes. Gina, are we ready to give away our prizes?
We are. I am pulling these names up right now. You tell me when to announce them, and we actually have 2 winners, so stay tuned if you don't hear your name announced first.
All right, I think real quick, we're actually going to take a look real quick at the scoutshop.org website. If we have that graphic, I just want to show folks what it looks like real quick. There it is. There's the special scoutshop.org Pinewood Derby website, where you see all the options. There's a blog on the Scout Shop Pinewood Derby. There's kits, there's paint, there's stickers, there's obviously the cars themselves. A great way to do it. Order it online if you're not comfortable getting out with things going on right now. Totally cool. If the Scout Shop in your area is open and you can go, you can do that as well. Lots of cool stuff. The Scout Shop, just in the last 5 or 10 years, has really expanded their Pinewood Derby offerings. And there's really no reason to go anywhere else. Used to, you'd have to go maybe to a local hobby shop or something like that. Nowadays, you can really get everything you want, different colored wheels, everything like that. Awesome stuff. Very cool. I think it's time to announce our prize winner. Gina, our first prize winner is the fire truck. This was the pre-cut fire truck decal, the fire truck light and siren kit, and the flexible composite strip weight. Gina, who is the winner of our fire truck kit?
So that is going to Caitlin Clark, and she said a derby car race with noises would be awesome. So I'm so glad she won this. What a good coincidence for her. Your car is going to make some noise, Caitlin, you and your Scout's car.
Congratulations, Caitlin. I think Gina's going to send you a message. Is that how we do this, Gina?
Yes, I think Scout Shop will send you a message. So keep your eye on your Facebook inbox. That's how we'll get your address and make sure we get this shipped your way.
Awesome. Congratulations, Caitlin. We do have a second prize to give away. This is the race car, the pre-cut orange flames decal, the race car sound kit, and another strip of weights to go on the bottom. Gina, who is winner number 2?
This is a great comment and a great winner. So it's going to James C. Saxton. His comment said, great info yesterday. Looking forward to today. My son and I's first year in Cub Scouts. They're in Lyons. He's in Palm Harbor, Florida. Shout out to Pack 26. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just so glad this is their first year doing Pinewood Derby, and we're hooking them up with a Pinewood Derby set.
Awesome. Very cool. Congratulations. Check your inbox again for a message from Scout Shop. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate everyone watching and commenting. Any final thoughts on Pinewood Derby, Mallory and Gina, before we let folks go?
You know what? Just have fun, because that's what it's about. Have fun.
Yeah, I got to say the only way you're going to do it wrong is if you're not spending time together, parent and kids working together on this, whatever time you have. That's, the whole point.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is the Pinewood Derby car that I made with my son when he was a Tiger. I'm not going to say how long ago it was because it makes me sound old, but I still have really good memories of making it with him. He does too. He's at school right now. He'd be really mad at me if he knew that I got this out of his box. Dad, you're going to break it. Don't mess with it. No. It is already missing one wheel there, as you can see. But it is great. It is a great thing to do with your Cub Scout. It really is one of the highlights of the Cub Scout year. It's a tricky year this year. We know it is, and that's why we have advice for you guys on how to do virtual Pinewood Derbies. Again, if you're whatever Facebook page you're on right now, if you scroll down, you'll see more content about how to do a Pinewood Derby during these times, how to cut your car. We just covered how to decorate your car. There's all kinds of content. Download the Scouting Magazine app if you haven't already. There's content there. There's content on scoutlife.org. There's content, as Mallory said, on scoutshop.org. We've got you covered. Thank you all for watching. Gina and Mallory, thanks so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Pinewood Derby, everybody. Go fast. Win your race. Do your best. Thanks, guys, for watching. We appreciate it.